Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited because we are going to be talking all about some of my favorite light coverage, lightweight base products for the spring and summer. These are all products that I really wanted to emphasize, although they have, different coverage points, even the ones that are a little bit more full coverage and more buildable, they all manage to feel very lightweight and not distracting on the skin. And I also wanted to include ones that have, more coverage but can still be sheared out to look just like a filter on the skin, so that the products are versatile enough to where when you do find yourself needing coverage on a specific day, you can still use the same product. You don't have to have another one. So let's get started. I want to start off with one that I feel like could be a little bit controversial, but bear with me because I think it really is very pretty and beautiful. So it's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have 3 different shades of this product. I switch up the shade depending on the time of year and my skin tone. This, I think, really shines on its own because it does provide your skin with a slight tint. So you want to choose the one that's the closest to your natural skin tone. It doesn't have to be a spot-on match because these do shear out. So it's just going to provide the skin with a little bit of a tint. It's very luminous, and the way that I would like to wear this, if I'm wearing it on its own, like as my coverage or base product, if you will, is I will apply it with spot concealing and then also apply the rest of my makeup on top. So it's beautiful, and if you try using it on its own and maybe you didn't particularly fancy it, then it still is a wonderful product to use as a base illuminator to peek out from behind your foundation, or you can mix it in with your liquid products to give them a little bit more of a luminous finish, or you can use it as a highlight on top of the skin. But if you don't have any visible texture and your skin tone is pretty even, I would say try it out. Try it as the foundation product in your routine, still going with your concealer and your usual base products, and then see if you like it. You might actually really like it. I struggled with acne a lot this year, so I wasn't able to use it quite as much as I would have liked as my base product, but when my skin is good, I really do like this as a base product. This is Estee Lauder's Sheer Longwear Makeup. This is a part of the Double Wear line, so it is industrial strength, and I really want to recommend this one for those of you that have longevity in mind, especially those of you who aren't really concerned with, prepping and priming and setting powders and setting sprays. You really just want a product that will hold its own and do the work for you in terms of longevity. I cannot recommend that one enough. It is sheer, it is fluid, it goes onto your skin much like other serum foundation products, but still really nice and sheer and very skin-like, and you can build it up. But if you are somebody who really likes that soft, barely there coverage skin tint type of product, but you really want something that will just last and you don't have to take the time to prep and set and all of that, I cannot recommend that one enough. It sets down to a very natural satin soft powder finish, so it pretty much self-sets. So if you are somebody that typically uses a lot of powder, you could perhaps find that you don't even need to use powder with this product specifically. Again, can't recommend it enough based on how easy and intuitive it is to use. You can really pick your tool of choice, and it is very fingertip friendly as well, which I think is always an added bonus. And I know Estee Lauder is not a buzzy, necessarily exciting brand, and oftentimes I feel like the Estee Lauder gondola is overlooked when you're in Sephora, but if there is one thing to be said about Estee Lauder, the Double Wear line is a workhorse of longevity products. They really do last, especially if you are somebody who needs your makeup to stay on all day. This is quite a really unique product from the Estee Lauder line because, the Double Wear foundations and concealers are actually quite full coverage. Like, they're very full coverage. They kind of like dry down like cement to your skin. And this is like a little bit more of a modern, fresh, approachable take on the Double Wear line. And I think it really shines on its own. It's just a beautiful, very easy to work with gorgeous skin product. So we have to talk about this one. I really wanted to spotlight this in this video. It's the IT Cosmetics CC Plus Nude Glow. This is the newest iteration of the CC Plus line. So if you like the other CC Plus products because you like their high coverage point, and you just really enjoy the coverage of those, you perhaps might not love this one, but I think it is the best version of the CC Plus line. It could potentially be a little bit of a mismarketing for some people, because I do think a lot of people associate the CC Plus from IT Cosmetics with having that high coverage point. This one is much more similar to a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer, although the coverage can be built up to more of a medium coverage. So you can build this, but one of the things I really love about this product is it feels moisturizing as heck on your skin. Like, it feels so moisturizing. The coverage is buildable. It already has an illuminator in the formula itself. So they created this product to essentially replicate the way your skin looks with that golden hour glow on the skin. So the illuminator really does give you this beautiful, luminous, dewy looking base. And with the product, you know, on the high points of your face, it already just kind of naturally catches the light, even without putting a highlighter on top of the product. So it does bounce back and really glow in the light, which is nice. But definitely will give your skin more coverage than a traditional skin tint, but I would definitely say it falls in the line of a lightweight tinted moisturizer product, but so beautiful. Like I said, perhaps if you are drawn to the CC Plus line for that high coverage, you might be turned off by this, but if you don't like the high coverage of the CC Plus line, I think this is like such a good one, and it really fits the bill. And I think it's a nice addition to the line to have an option that is still, you know, the CC Plus skincare added benefit of a makeup product, but at a, you know, more customizable, less coverage product. Next up, I want to talk about the Ilia Skin Tint. So I've come to learn that this is quite a polarizing product, in the sense that a lot of people don't like the way that this smells. I think it doesn't have a smell that bothers me per se. I think it kind of smells a little bit salty, but I don't think it has a scent that particularly turns me off. And I can attribute that to a lot of those clean brands like Clean at Sephora. They have, you know, specific products that, or specific ingredients that they abide by in terms of like things that they avoid. So I've noticed that more times than not, sometimes the clean brands have a little bit more of a unique funk to them, if you will. It's not a bad thing in my opinion. It truly does not bother me. So I love this product regardless of the way it smells. I know a lot of people it really bothers them, so I just felt like I should forewarn you. It's got a scent that some people are really not into. I really love the way that this product looks on my skin. I'd say you could get anywhere from a filtered coverage, think like a Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint, all the way to light medium coverage, and I think it just really shines on its own. I really like the way it makes my skin look, you know, like bouncy and hydrated, and I feel like you just get this really nice, like visibly plump, moisturized looking base. And even when I build it up to a more, you know, noticeable amount of coverage, it still manages to look very natural and skin-like, very approachable, not distracting. I also think this is a really nice product to have in your collection if you are somebody who does wear a lot of traditional foundations, and if you do find that sometimes foundation is just a little bit too heavy for you day to day, this will still give you that really nice amount of coverage. Or you can even mix it in with your foundation to kind of cut the coverage of the foundation, just make it a little bit more fluid, make it blend into the skin a little bit nicer, and just overall make things that are a little bit more full coverage look a little bit more natural. So big fan of the Ilia Skin Tint despite the smell. Let's talk about one that I am addicted to right now. I like cannot stop using it every single day. I'm wearing it on my face today. It is the Chanel Water Fresh Tint. So this is a unique looking little product. You can see it looks like a serum with little pigment beads encapsulated throughout the serum itself. When you apply this, it feels like you are just putting on a hyaluronic acid skin serum, and then as you blend it into the skin, the pigment beads will actually burst and then provide your skin with the right amount of coverage. It literally feels like nothing on your skin. Once the product has set down, you do not feel it. it disappears into your skin. It's really nice for hot days or days when you just really don't want to feel like you have zilch on the skin. It does provide you with a noticeable amount of coverage to even out the skin, and I feel like this has been really nice for me specifically because I've been using prescription strength tretinoin, so my skin's a little bit more sensitive, and I have a lot of, I don't want to say they're like super visible dry patches, but I just have areas on my skin where like makeup's tending to cling to them, but this just like hides it all, and it kind of like moisturizes the areas that are really dry and just makes it look really good. I just really feel like this is fitting the bill for me in giving me a really natural looking skin appearance while also still, you know, just helping to blur my imperfections and also even out my skin tone overall. So I'm very happy with this. I haven't had any longevity issues as well. That was my biggest concern with this product, was I was thinking, how long is it actually going to last? And I would say I get a full like 6 to 7 hours wear out of this product. Please keep in mind I do have dry skin, so I don't necessarily have to deal with oiliness from my skin kind of combating the longevity of my makeup. So that's something I feel like I should let you know, that I can get a full day's wear out of this, but I don't have oily skin. Perhaps somebody with oily skin would need to set this a little bit more frequently with powder, or they would have to do a couple touch-ups throughout the day. But overall, the water tint, phenomenal, completely blown away. It surprises you with how much coverage it actually gives and with how you know, beautiful and natural it actually looks. Like, it's a very surprising, it's a nice little treat. Okay, let's talk about a classic. This is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. I feel like this was everyone's favorite for several years. It's really kind of the GOAT of tinted moisturizers, I feel. It's a very elegantly formulated tinted moisturizer that is very intuitive to use. So you can use a brush, a sponge, or your fingertips. So it is not only, you know, something that you can apply like you would your normal foundation, but beginner friendly as well. Just very consistently performs day in and day out for me. I really like the buildable amount of coverage. So again, you can go anywhere from sheer to perhaps a little bit more medium to full, and it just always manages to look really good. So if you do have a little bit more of, you know, darkness, redness, hyperpigmentation, or blemishes, and you really want like an overall, you know, nice light amount of coverage all over the skin, but you want to be able to build the product up on areas where you need it, this one can do that for you as well. And because it is a traditional, you know, tinted moisturizer, it is just that. It's also a very moisturizing, comfortable wear. Plays so nicely with other products. So if you want to set this with powder, it doesn't, you know, pill up or start looking chalky and migrating around the face. It's just very easy to work into your routine and a classic for a reason. Okay, next up we have the Milk Sunshine Skin Tint. This one actually has a lot more coverage than traditional skin tints. I actually feel like this one packs a lot more coverage than I thought that it would. So first of all, I love the packaging of this because it is extremely purse friendly. So if you are somebody who has to do more touch-ups throughout the day, or maybe not even necessarily this product specifically, but let's say you put your other base product on throughout the day and you notice that throughout the day you just need a little bit of extra coverage, this is great to do patchwork or just provide the skin with a little bit of extra coverage throughout the day when your makeup is wearing down. And honestly, it's because you have that little roller ball, so you can just dot it on the skin, work it in with your fingertips. It's so nice to throw in your bag. And honestly, I would say coverage wise with this one, it has enough punch in the pigment to cover dark spots, redness, darkness under the eyes, and just overall even out the skin tone completely. So it packs a lot of punch in terms of coverage despite being, you know, a lighter coverage product. I'm still really happy with this, and I feel like I love the packaging. It's fun to apply. I love the Milk Sunshine Skin Tint. I think this is a great one. Okay, so next up we have Huda Glowish. Huda Glowish is very unique because I don't have anything else in my collection like Glowish. So Glowish, although this is a skin tint, I feel like can actually provide a lot more coverage than some other foundations. Now, Glowish is going to provide more coverage than the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, as well as the IT Cosmetics CC Nude Glow. Perhaps if you have tried Hollywood Flawless Filter and you didn't like it on its own, this could be a better bet for you, because I do find that this one has not only more shades, how many shades are there of Huda Glowish? Huda Glowish is more like a traditional foundation with just like a lot of strobe to it, but it still looks really natural. Like, I don't want to throw you off by saying, oh my gosh, it's so strobed or anything. It's really beautiful and looks really nice and natural, and perhaps a little bit more dedicated to looking good on its own without, you know, this, you know, because sometimes I want to be fully transparent with you guys. Like, if you've tried this and you hate it, then like, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. It's just you don't like the way that it looks. But Glowish, I feel like, is a little bit more of a product that's truly meant to be worn on its own and worked into your makeup routine with, you know, this as your main base product. So I really love the formula of it. It has this unique, almost like gel kind of balm-like formula to it. And another really great thing about that formulation being so like gel-like and balm-like is it really helps hide any visible dry patches on the skin, because it almost kind of goes in there and like moisturizes them, and it helps negate the visible, you know, like flakiness of dry skin. And I just feel like the Glowish really gives you that kind of goddess, like healthy, juicy, dewy looking base. I know that's not going to be for everyone, but if you enjoy a dewy, luminous base, the Huda Glowish is absolutely phenomenal. And again, one of those products that can be worn a little bit more uniquely, in the sense that you can always mix it in with your foundation, or you can wear it underneath your foundation for some added coverage. So it's definitely something that if you want to try, I would highly recommend it, because it's one of my all-time favorites. Next up, we have the YSL Bear Look Skin Tint. This one rings true to a true skin tint, in my opinion. There's not much variation in the amount of coverage you can build it up to. It really doesn't go past a certain point, and it's just a very easy, natural product to incorporate into your routine. And I would highly recommend this to somebody who's looking for a very consistent amount of coverage day in and day out, despite, you know, daytime makeup or nighttime makeup, or just day-to-day life. You kind of just want like one product that's going to provide you with enough coverage and manage to look really natural day in and day out. This one is amazing. It's just easy to work with. You can apply it with your fingertips, and it just always manages to look really good. It's got good longevity. The coverage is very natural. So like I said, it doesn't really go past a certain point of coverage, and I feel like it's just a true, beautiful skin tint. Obviously, these are all skin tints, but I'm really hoping that by showing you the products on my face, you can see what I mean when I'm telling you that they are all different. It's sometimes hard to describe all of them as different as they are, but this one, true skin tint, very easy to incorporate into your routine, and just like a nice daily life type of product. The last sheerwear product I want to recommend is the Giorgio Armani Neo Nude True Skin Foundation. Now, I do want to say that I don't think that this is a foundation. The first time I used this, I was actually kind of excited, because I thought it was going to be like more of like a dewy looking foundation. I think this is more true to a skin tint. I feel like the coverage is not able to build up to like a traditional foundation type of coverage. So I'm categorizing this as more of a tinted moisturizer skin tint product in this collection of products, because that's where I feel like it falls in my opinion. But this is beautiful. It's very sheer, very lightweight, and I love the way it sets down on the skin. It has this really beautiful dewy but like soft powder finish. So if you are a little bit more on the oily side, this is going to make you look dewy without being overly luminous. And it's also going to not look greasy or oily on the skin. And if you have dry skin, it still provides your skin with that little bit of life, so that you don't look completely dried out. And it's just so beautiful. Like, you'll see it when it's on my skin. Like, I love the amount of coverage that it's able to provide my skin with. I love the comfortable feeling and wear on the skin. And I really feel like this one specifically is a nice middle of the road product, where it's moisturizing, but it's not greasy. It's satin, but it's not overly matte, and it just looks and feels very lightweight and breathable on the skin, and it's just a really nice, easy to work with product. That's really the thing that I wanted to emphasize, not only with this one specifically, but with all of these products. They're very intuitive to use. They are not as finicky or as complicated as a lot of other base products can be. Sometimes foundations, like, you have to, you know, learn how to apply it and really get it to look the way the formula is intended to look on the skin. All of these can be applied the way you want with your fingertips, a brush, or a sponge, and they're just very easy, wearable, fresh looking products on the skin. So that's everything I wanted to mention for all of these products. If you have any questions, you can always hit me up in the comments down below. I will do my best to help you. I know that all of these are more in the prestige category, so if you would like a drugstore version of this, I would happily do that for you as well. But even with these being at a higher price point, I think that you can tell, you know, by the way that they look on the skin, that they are worth the investment, because they are that good. So I don't recommend expensive products unless I feel like it's worth the investment and worth the splurge, but I feel like all of these are just absolutely phenomenal, and I'm sure you've seen me talk about many of these on my channel before. So I will have all of them listed and linked in the description box, as I mentioned. And I think that's everything I wanted to touch on for this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd love it so much if you'd come follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'll have those in the description box as well. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.